Okay, so today's lesson's on percents. And the learning target is I can apply knowledge of percentages to solve for unknown value. Some vocabulary. Okay, so the first one's going to be percent. It's a specific amount out of 100. Okay? Now, there's 3 different ways that you can write a percentage. You can write it as a fraction. So here's an example. I have 65 over 100. I can change that to a decimal by dividing 65 over 100 in the calculator. Okay? So if I do that, I'm going to get a decimal, and that's going to be 0.65. Now, if I want to change that to look at like a percentage, I'm going to take my decimal 0.65, and I'm going to move 2 units to the right. So move 2 to right. That answer then will be 65%. Percents in the calculator. Okay, so these are key concepts and examples. So percent is a decimal in the calculator. Okay. So, and when you see a percentage, it's usually how much over 100. So let's take a look at an example here. If I have 8%, and I want to change that to a fraction, I'm going to put the amount, or how much, over 100. Well, if I put that in the calculator, so I'm dividing 8 over 100, I end up with, let me write this, 0.08. So this is how you would get it in the calculator. You have your 8%, you're going to make that 8 over 100, and your decimal answer will be 0.08. All right, so you're going to find parts of a percentage. So first thing is setting up the proportion. Remember, proportion is 2 ratios that are equal to each other. In percentage, you have on left-hand side is over of is equal to how much of the percentage over 100. First thing you need to know is that this always stays. The 100 always stays. When we have to find parts of the percentage, find the easy part, which is this piece. This is always going to be your first part. To look for. First part to look for. Okay? Then we're going to look for numbers attached to each word. So we're going to look for numbers. Look for numbers attached to each word. To solve this, we have to cross multiply. So this is yesterday's unit, or yesterday's lesson. We need to cross multiply, and then we're going to solve. If missing value is the percent, you're going to put a percent sign in the answer. Okay? So let's recap. We have is over of is equal to how much? Some percentage over 100. All right, let's take a look at example number 1. So I'm going to start with, what is? What is that question. We don't know when we don't know what something is, we're going to use X. And remember, I said percentage is the first thing you're going to look for. So look for this. Look for percent. And then the other part is going to be of 20. So let's start with our proportion. I'm going to put an equal sign. And we said that 100 is always going to be there. And I'm going to put over here is and of. Okay? So we're always going to look for the percentage. And my percentage here is 12. Of is going to be down in the bottom. So I'm going to put a 20. And what is, remember, we're looking for the word attached to it, so is going to be the top piece. To solve this, we're going to cross multiply. Well, cross multiplication is x times 100 is 100x is equal to 20 times 12. So 20 times 12. That's going to give us 240. I'm going to get rid of the 100 by dividing by 100 both sides. And my answer then is going to be 2.4. So the what is part of the proportion is going to be 2.4. Example number 2. We have 14 is, I'm going to put a box around this piece, 15%. This is always the first piece we're going to look for. Of what number? Let's see what color I need. Of what number? Oops. Let's go back. Here we go. Of what number? So let's start with our proportion. I have my equal sign. I have two ratios, two fractions. The bottom right is always going to be the 100. Above the 100 will be your percentage. So we have here 15%. Is on top, of is down on the bottom. So we have 14 is, so we're going to associate 14 with is, and I'm going to put 14 on top. And my x, of what number? So this piece is going to be my x, and that's what I'm going to put down in the bottom. You're going to cross multiply again. 14 times 100 is 1400 is equal to x times 15 is 15x. Let's get rid of the 15 by dividing both sides by 15. X is 93.33. Okay? Let's look at this one. So we have the word what again, and this time we have what percentage. So I'm going to put a box around this piece right here. What percentage is going to be my x? Is 12 of, or out of 18 is going to be the other piece. Okay, start with setting up your proportion. I start with an equal sign. You have your two ratios. The bottom right's going to have the 100, and your percentage will be on top. Well, the percentage is, well, what percentage? We don't know what that is. This is where we're going to put our x. is on top, which is 12. Of is on the bottom, which is 18. We're going to cross multiply. 12 times 100 is 1200 is equal to 18 times x, which is 18x. Divide both sides by 18. X is 66.67, repeating. Now, the question said, what is the percentage? Well, if my answer is asking for percentage, then I need to put the percentage sign. So the answer is going to be 66.67%. All right, the last one I have for number 4, 22 is what percent of 50? All right, let's start with 22. 22 is what percent? This is where I'm going to have my x of 50. So start with your ratio again, or your proportion. You're going to have your equal sign with your two ratios. The 100 down, bottom right. Above the 100 is going to be your percentage, and we don't know that, so that's where we're going to put an x. The left-hand side is on top, of on the bottom. So is going to 22 is of 50. Well, here we go again. We're going to cross multiply again. So 22 times 100 is 2200 is equal to 50 times x, 50x. Divide both sides by 50. X is equal to 44. Now, remember the question asked, it says 22 is what percent of 50? So if it's asking for percent and that's where your x is, your answer will have to have that percent sign. Okay? So your homework is now to do homework number 2. If you have any questions, please contact us. Thank you.